Testing, audio test. Is this thing working? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Got one thumbs up. Got roughly about 4 minutes left before the open. But let's just quickly see what's going on here. Drinking a little tea here. So we're all-time highs, right? S&P, Nasdaq, and right at the top here for Dow Jones. Russell, a little shy, roughly about 100 points. I'm talking about futures, because if you look at the SPY, I mean, it's way above highs. I mean, the true let's see, diamond. See, the diamonds are above this top here. So, and on the future side, we're at the we just broke the highs. That's what I go by. I don't go by these ETFs. So what do you think is gonna happen? Where do we stand? September is usually a bearish month, so I think we might be at the top. If you look at the weekly, we are way overbought, and the monthly looks a little bit overbought, right? We're above the moving averages, way above. So how much further are we gonna go? I mean, it can just continue, right? But knowing the current economic situations and where we stand here on the chart, looks way way overbought. So we might be having a hard time breaking above. So we got less than a minute left before the open, so I might have to cut this short. So just be careful trading. Good luck.
The market is open. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
So I'm looking at this dollar index. So it looks like we might have a double bottom. Failure to continue to the downside. On the daily chart, same thing on the weekly. I like this bottoming tail on a weekly. So it looks like there's a support around 96 area. But you would think it would. Well, we still have some time left in the month, roughly 9 days or so. So maybe we'll reach this 200. But that would be a big red bar. But looks like we might be reversing. So now, gold and silver. I mean, it looks bullish. A lot of people are calling for 5,000 gold and higher. 50 to 100 for silver. So, but as of right now, 43, 45. Does a little bit look overbought, short-term wise. I mean, once we took out this big red bar, we closed above it with this nice green bar. Look very bullish. So if we, and this high too. So um I would hate to buy at these levels unless you absolutely know that's gonna go higher before pulling back. This is a weekly chart. Here's a monthly for silver. So we are sitting right at this resistance level, right? So we put up, let's see, I'm not counting this little tiny bar, but 1, 2, 3, 4 months to the upside. Roughly, let's just call it from this point. So $34 to roughly 44, $10 in 4 months. Plus minus a few pennies, right? So this needs to, it's low. It's a little overbought, and these levels are a little concerning. I would hate to buy it right here. I mean, I was buying at these levels, 20s and 25s. So, um, but this $50 target is definitely not out of the question. Oh, God. Excuse me. So, um, perhaps we'll reach this $50 target by the end of the year. So, 3 months. So 3 bars up. which is very possible. We can see this in one bar, but we might dip roughly maybe to 42, but we did that 42. Yeah, we dipped to the 42 level. So now this green bar, it's just took out these two red bars. So it looks bullish, but the dollar looks bullish at the same time because it looks like a double bottom. If you look at the weekly, got this bottoming tail, and monthly. So there is support at the bottom of this green candle. So we barely, well, we touched it just below that, but now we're reversing. So, but this failed new high here. It just wants to tell, it tells me it wants to go to 200 at least. So unless we take out this, we close and we take out this red bar, we're gonna revisit these moving averages. That's on a monthly chart. So the monthly chart, let's call it 102 and a half. 102 and a half. So that would be, oh, on a daily, this 200 is roughly a 102. So that might be a little hard thing to do. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe we're just gonna roll over and continue down. Retest this 50-day moving average and come right back down. The bonds, nice big move up above the 200. We continued, but now we pulled back on a weekly. Kind of makes sense because this red bar, big red bar, big weekly bar. So it makes sense why we pulled back. But now we need to, the price needs to stop at the moving average and now reverse and continue up. If it halts right at the 50 and we take out this bar this week, we're going to 102 roughly. Let's see what the monthly looks like. So we have about a week and a couple days left. So if we close, let's see, 102, that would be here. So this week's got to be very bullish for the bond market. So yeah, we need to really just take out this. I mean, if we closed like above like 94, 95, that would be perfect. That'll confirm my target of 102, 101, 102. Let's see. Yeah, we need to, yeah. This green bar on the monthly chart looks big and closes at, say, 95. That would be a nice green bar. Just clearing all this, just erasing all this action here. I would like that. Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it wants to reverse course to the downside now. We'll see what happens with these moving averages, but it looks like it wants to reverse now. On a daily chart, weekly, yeah, it's having a hard time continuing. So we'll see what happens with this week. And the monthly, yeah, double tails. Just, let's see, this is 107 roughly. 108, 107. So maybe this week, if we drop 8,000 points, and we right here, and we just, that would be a good signal, that we're going lower. So we'll see this week. Or we can just come back down to the moving averages and reverse in one day and continue higher. So it will be interesting to see what happens with Bitcoin. But this rejection is pretty powerful. So crude oil, it's just been chopping back and forth between 66 roughly and 61. This $5 move up and down, hugging this 200-day moving average. This flat, I mean, it's flat. It's just above, below. And now it failed to go above here. So that's on the daily. Weekly, same thing. It's just sideways. If you take 80 bucks and 50 to $30 range here. So this drop was halted by the 20. So now we just need to, if we close on a weekly chart, like above 67 and a half and change, that would tell me we're going to be going higher. Monthly, yeah, monthly, got to close. Let's see, 68 and 17 cents. So just call this $68. Because it wants to go higher. What do you guys think? But I think the ride to the upside is over. So we'll see what happens this Monday. Let's take a look. I want to take a look. Just 1 second here. Let me take a look at something. I want to take a look at this week's news. What would be the catalyst? Let's see, Monday. So, nothing really Monday. Tuesday, just, retail sales. That's, well, not really market moving news. Export, import, export, and retail sales. So, uh, it might move. I guess maybe the tariffs will have some kind of impact on these export import prices, right? Wednesday, mortgage applications. 30-year mortgage, 6.39. Building permits, housing starts, and crude oil inventory. Um, so that would be just for the crude oil news. Uh, Wait a minute, no. Wait a minute. This is we're looking at the wrong week because I'm looking at this Fed interest rate decision. That was on the 17th. There you go, 17th. Today's the 21st. We got to go a week ahead. Okay, the 22nd. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so let's go again. Monday, Fed speech. Uh, yeah, so maybe they will create a little bit of volatility, these Fed speakers. Tuesday, Red Book, another Fed speaking. Uh, Fed chairman speech on Tuesday. Let's see. Hmm. So maybe we'll have a little action on Tuesday. Again, Wednesday, 30-year mortgage rates, applications, okay. Building permits. So I guess we get this every week, this news. Didn't know that. Same thing with crude oil. September 24th. Thursday. Okay, so then we're gonna have a 5:30, which is Pacific time. So we got the jobless claims and GDP initial claims. So Thursday will be a big day. Um, Wholesale. Uh, yeah, so Thursday will be a news-driven day. Uh, Existing home sales. Okay, that's pretty much it. And there's more speakers. Then on Friday, let's see what happens here Friday. Core PCE. So we're going to get more inflation data on Friday. That's going to drive the market for sure. And of course, the Michigan consumer sentiment, that usually moves the market as well. And more Fed speeches. That's it. So we're moving higher with the silver right now. Same thing with the gold. But I think the party's over for stocks and indices. We'll see. We'll see what happens on Monday. How it closes. If we look at the monthly chart, right? So we're in September. Let's look at September in the past. Let's see, November, September here. So it was this month. So it was negative and then turned positive, right? So this candle actually can turn. We got about 7 days of trading. Can actually turn into a topping tail. So we'll see. 7 days is a whole week. So if we 23, let's see, it opened up 23.7, 23 roughly here. So we need to erase these three candles for this monthly turn into a topping tail. But anyways, let's go back again with the let's see. So September here, September and 23 was a negative month. September and 22 was a negative month, as you can see here, this red bar. And let's take a look at this September here, which is a negative month as well. And 21. How about 20? Here's September, negative month. So I wouldn't be surprised if this month turns red and a topping tail. Would not surprise me at all. If that happens, um, we're going lower. So let me take a look here something. Okay, so that's what I think is going to happen. Here's Russell. So Russell, see with the ETFs, I mean they were at the highs, right? I just don't follow these ETFs. I need to add this. Mm-mm. Yeah. Thing is, it's not just the ETF. Let's see. This is the composite index, the Russell, which is pretty much follows the same thing as the ETF. So it's the same thing. RUT and IWM. Oh, or SPX and SPY. See, the charts didn't move at all. So they follow each other, right? But the true prices for me is the futures because they trade 23 hours a day. They're more accurate to me. Indexes, you know, and ETFs. I don't really follow them as closely as the futures market. Crypto total market cap. Oh, here's Dow Jones and the diamonds. Like almost identical chart, right? Plus the VIX is pretty low, at 15. So, I mean, this is volatile, right? Prices just go crazy. Um, we are just at the lows, close to the lows. At the VIX, with the VIX here. See what else can we take a look at here. These are CFDs, contract for difference. So that's not really. Any questions? Anybody want to take a look at anything? Any individual stocks or anything you guys want to look at? Just continues. There's different market. There's different exchanges. Economy. Let's see. Fed funds rate. This is the monthly. Hmm. Here's the inflation rate. Right, 2.9. So we came down to the 200-day moving average of 2.5%. I mean, this is just not accurate at all. I mean, inflation is super high. I mean, just prices are just insane. This is, I mean, the Fed should be, they're trying to reach 2%, right? I mean, they should be fine with that and just, you know, that's their target rate, 2%. That's what they say. They keep saying that's the target rate. Well, we're there, but this is not accurate at all. Unemployment rate, 4.3. And it looks like it's going to be rising. This is the Corona spike in 2020, right? 2020. Yeah, March, April, just this is consumer price index for all urban consumers. So this shows you that we're just going higher and higher. CPI, consumer price index. Well, here's the consumer confidence. Mm, pretty low, right? We're at the lows. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it here with the stream. What else do I want to take a look at here? So we came back up. It's a good thing I got out. I got out at 8:30, 8:31. I shorted here. I added and got out because of this congestion here. So I thought the top of that would be support, and I was right. You're welcome, Brandon. Do you have any questions before I shut this thing down? But we'll see what happens on Monday. I think we're gonna roll over. I think the party's over. I mean, the last week of this month, uh, and there's, I think, it's just gonna reverse. We're just a little bit overbought, and so, and I've seen a lot of other charts, economic charts, um, that just, but we could be just irrational, right? I mean, just people just want to just buy and buy and buy. They don't care. Buy, buy, buy. Um, if you guys have any questions or comments, just put them down in the comment section. I usually reply to most of the comments. I'm not as active on YouTube as much anymore. It just seems to be taking up too much time. And Brandon, that's saw you looking at silver. So you're gonna get into some sales this week. That's not gas was a good value. That nat gas, natural gas. Uh, see, silver. This is the daily chart. It looks bullish. Absolutely, it looks bullish. Prices came down, retraced to the moving average, and this block right here. I can't even. This block right here. See, it just acts as like a pause. You pause with the price action going up and down. Just pause, go up, break above, come back, retrace the moving average. This is like kind of also buying time so the moving average catches up to the price. And it did, right? So now the price bounced off big. This bar just erased these two bars, right? So it looks bullish. It looks definitely bullish, right? So On the weekly chart, we're above. See, the 20-day moving average is 38.50. We're at 43, right? So it's $5 above. So, and we are at this resistance level. So we might see a little pullback or just continue because we are in insane conditions, market conditions, just economic conditions. And same thing with the monthly. The month's not over yet, so like I said, there's about 7 days left in this month. Uh, so we'll see. But like a lot of people are calling for $50 silver and above. I mean, 50 is just like the base case. Like everybody just at least 50. So I mean, you can still buy. I mean, I'm afraid to buy now. I like to buy in this area when it's when it was $20 and $25. That's what I was buying. Um, but now it's a little, it's a little high, and so I would hope it would pull back so I can buy some more. Um, let me see something. I can do 3-month chart. Yeah, see, I mean, it's just 3-month chart looks bullish. Let's see the 6-month chart. 6-month chart looks very bullish too. So just wants to, retest these highs. When you look at the 12 months, which is a yearly, each candle is 1 year. So if this candle closes at 50, that's a huge candle. I mean, look at this candle here, right? Let's call it 40 here, and call it 23. Let's call it 24. $16. $16 candle. So if this is 30, 31, 30, yeah, just call it 30 to 43. Right, so we got a little more to go to match this candle. They kind of look the same size, but yeah, it's a big candle. So now, if you just look at this, right, this year had followed through to the upside. I mean, just so it went higher. So this candle, if you follow and copy this one, it's going higher, right? So yeah, $50 and above. Uh, let's take a look at gold. Look at the gold. Wow. This is the yearly candles. This year's just been insane, right? Kind of looks, to me, looks like a cup and handle. You got the cup, right? And here's the handle, and we're off and running. But you got to look at the yearly chart, which I look at it maybe once every 6 months or so. But yeah, that's exactly what it looks like to me. Cup and handle. Cup, you got a little cup, you got a little handle. Like I'm drinking my tea. Like I was drinking my tea during pre-market, and we're off and running. Silver, no cup and handle. It's just bullish. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. I mean, just a yearly chart is It's not even doesn't show even moving averages on a yearly chart. There's for a 20-day moving average, you need 20 candles. This has been around for only what, 13 years or something? 14 years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years? Maybe 15. Let's see, 2011. So yeah, 14 years. So let's see. Oh, you said something. Let's see. So I'm new, but where do you have most of your content? If it's not on YouTube, also the yen. Also the yen. Do you trade its futures, the tick size? Um, and multiplier are numbers I hadn't seen before. No, my content is on YouTube. You know, um, I don't live trade as much as I used to. Um, check out the you know the community tab on my channel. I post a lot of stuff there. Uh, and you want to know about the yen? Hold on one second. Something bit me. Um, so let's go back to daily. And you said you want to look at the yen, Japanese yen. Japanese yen futures, which is 6J. But let's look at the forex. Oh, come on. Yen versus the dollar. What exactly? Which? Why are you interested in the yen, anyways? Are you trading? Are you trading forex? Is that why? So you look at the yen futures, right? So the yen futures, you're asking about the yen futures, I think. Yeah, the futures. Yeah, the CME, see the 6J. So this is the daily. So we've been chopping right below this flat now, 200 day moving average. And we bounce down. See this rejection. And but this big green bar is the reason to me that the buyers were holding the price. So the further away we go away from this big green bar, the better chances of rolling down. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here. So yes, see on the weekly chart we bounced off of the 20-day moving average and produced a topping tail. So that tells me lower prices. But then again, if we come back and reverse and close above this tail, then we're going higher. That's a weekly chart. Monthly, see on a monthly, it almost looks like a head and shoulders to me forming. It's not yet. If this bar took out this completely red bar, if it closed above it and closed, then there would be higher prices. But it didn't do that because the moving averages are declining. So, but now it's kind of so it failed to continue with this red bar continuation to the downside. So, um, so if we take this green bar out completely this month, then we should be going lower. If not, and it turns green and it closes above 20-day moving average, it might look like I said, head and shoulders. Because there's usually more follow through. In other words, another red bar or green bar, depending, which way you're going here. But this red bar usually has more price, lower prices after that. But it didn't do that. It just produced another green bar. So now we might be going just sideways, you know. But so the month's not over yet, but the daily looks bearish to me. Weekly looks bearish. Monthly looks bearish too because everything's declining, right? But we failed to break the lows. So once we do that, then should be a continuation to the downside. Let's see. Oh, you said something else. Not trading. I saw the multiplier was like, okay, tick size was okay. Hadn't seen numbers like that, I think. I think it's going lower. Yeah, I think it's going lower too. I mean, I don't know what the tick size uh can I find out here? Uh, oh, I don't even know how to find the information here. Let me see, what is this? Nope, that's just text. How do you find information on this thing? Quick search. What is this? For functional. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, these um some of these future contracts are um like that, you know. No, not a problem, Brandon. Not a problem. Let's see if what else can we take a look at here at the yen? basket. Let's see, because now I'm. How do I find? Okay, here we go.
I can't connect to the Wi-Fi
Nope.
network.
So yeah, here it says contract size, like you said. But it doesn't give you the tick size. Yeah, we can take a look at those. Let's take a look. What is it? SKYT? That's Skywater Technology. So this is the daily. I mean, the time to get in this stock was, I would have got in like $11 because it pulled back to the 200 flat. Look at this flat 200-day moving average. It just halted this capitulation pullback, right? And then it took out, or even like 10 and change, 10, 50, $11. That's what I would have got in. But now we're at the resistance. So this is on the daily. The weekly, see, the weekly looks bullish. We almost closed above, but I would, yeah, it looks bullish to me on weekly. And monthly, same way. I mean, it doesn't form a lot of the moving averages, but looks more bullish than bearish. Okay, so um, what else did you want to look at? Let me see here. American microchip maker recently was at the White House, and HUT is like iron play or HUT. HUT, you want me to look at HUT? HUT. What do you mean iron? You mean iron? Iron play? I mean, I don't know what these companies do. But here's, see, here's the daily chart of HUT. Again, see, it's way overbought on the daily, right? It's just, but then again, I could, if it pulls back gradually, nothing very sharp move to the downside. Just gradually, you can probably get in. I would maybe, it's probably maybe retest these levels here, 31, $32. That would be roughly 50% retracement, and then get in because these moving averages, once it catches up to the price, should push the price up. So that's the daily chart, the weekly. So on the weekly, we broke out of this high, recent high. So so looks bullish. Absolutely looks bullish on a weekly chart and the monthly as well. But then again, this looked bullish, but then we had very little follow through of the prices going higher. It's just, and then just retraced to the 20-day moving average and it stopped. But now this kind of it's rounding See, it's like a rounded bottom. So it just tells you it wants to go higher. Let's see, what else did you say here? Um, they all used to be Bitcoin miners, and they are now power centers for AI power. Ah, huh. I was watching I was watching something on YouTube on those data centers that they're just exploding everywhere and they're just consume so much power. It's insane. So, um, so they kind of so they kind of makes sense that this also would make it bullish. Um, Knowing what they do, what these companies do, and watching that well, that wasn't documentary. It was I think it was like by Business Insider, I think, or something like that. They try to map all all the data centers throughout United States where they are located and stuff like that. It was like a 30-minute video I saw. So yeah, it so this kind of tells me, yeah, it bullish. Um, yeah, you got to look at weeklies, dailies, weeklies, and monthly. Sounds like you just concentrating in like data center. Uh, what else did you grab? Grab Holdings Limited. Yeah, it looks, again, it's a little a little overbought on a daily. Again, I would have I would gotten in on this bar. So just call it $5 and change, 5, 6. Oh no, okay, this is this is like a penny stock almost. So I would get in like a $5, and stop would have been below, roughly like around 475, 74, below this, and then just move your stop once it to break even once it moved higher. But it looks bullish too, if they're all on the same in the same industry, bullish on a weekly. Yeah, bullish on a weekly and bullish on the monthly. What else did you have? Grab cores. Core Scientific. Okay. See this green bar, this big green bar? It had very little follow through because of this price action here. There was resistance. So, but then it just came back to the moving average and it halted because it's flat. Flat is the most powerful when it's flat, the 200. And then it just stayed above it. So I probably would have gotten in somewhere around like 13 and change. Like in this area. 13.50, maybe up to $14. And then I would just put my stop below the 200, below like around say 11 and a half. But now it's coming up to the high and resistance. A lot of resistance, right? So, but it looks bullish, more bullish than bearish, that's for sure. Weekly, weekly looks bullish, more bullish than bearish, that's for sure. That's for sure. And monthly, not enough data to draw the moving averages, but it also looks bullish. Okay, so pretty much all the stuff that you're giving me here is bullish. What else? I gotta go in about 5-10 minutes. What are the cores? It's a big deal. We will run out of power soon. Well, I don't know if we're gonna run out of power because they're trying to build more nuclear and coal power too. Um, I have a variety of plays. Have a dividend players like, okay. Grab is DoorDash of Singapore. Ah, I see. I see. Let me see these XDTE dividend players. So you're just holding this for dividend? Wait a minute. This is a covered call strategy ETF. Round Hill S&P 500 zero DTE covered call strategy ETF. This is like this is ETF. Oh, I see. This is this is pretty much this reminds me of the S&P 500. Okay, look at this move, right? Look at this, and then move up like this, and look at this. See this? Same thing, which is, makes sense. This follows S&P 500 cover calls, zero DTE. What's the other one? You got AIPI. It's the same thing, same looking chart. AI Equity Premium Income ETF. But it's the charts almost look identical. Okay. What else? Where are we here? QDTE. Same thing. This is yeah. What's the last one? XPay. Yeah, the charts look almost identical. I mean, as you can see, right? So it just kind of follows the S&P 500. Just another way. Okay, it's S&P 500 Target 20 Managed Distribution ETF. So I just don't understand why you in them all kind of same way looking charts, same stocks, ETFs. I would just instead of I don't know. Seems like you buying the same thing because it's might as well just pile in on the one of them. Um, Grabs DoorDash. Let me see. BMNR. Bitmine Emergent Technologies. I'm not familiar with this one. But look at this thing. Oh, so this is Tommy Lee's fund. Yeah, he's very bullish on Bitcoin. Um, I mean, this looks bullish. This thing looks bullish. Yeah, especially when you look at the weekly chart, right? So we skyrocket, pull back. We're staying above the 200-day moving average, and now it tells me it wants to go higher. Monthly chart. Wow, what the hell happened here? What the hell? Why is this? What the hell? That's the price for. That's the. What the? I've never seen a price like that. 480 million? That's the high. And now it's $62? What the hell happened? I mean, I don't agree in everything that he says, Tommy Lee. Oh, I see. You're retired. Okay, tax-free income. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, you don't want to be in. But the thing is, when you look at the charts, they all look the same. So but there's one I think that was in a different industry, I think. If I, but they all look the same, like can we go back here? Do we have history? Yeah, this is the history. So, course. See, another thing is that the problem with listening to these people on TV, whether on CNBC or Bloomberg or whatever, or any other, they go on TV and talk about what they are already in, they bought in long before they're telling you the good stuff about these stocks, ETFs, whatever. They bought in, they're in it way before. So they want you to pump up the price for them. It's not like they just got in, you know? So you can't really, listen to these people thinking that they just got in, they just bought the stock or whatever. They buy and then they go on TV and try to pump up the price. That's how it works. So you're late to the game, so to speak, right? Does that make sense? Maggie? What the hell is this? Okay, this is a covered call. Oh my God, this is. How do you find this stuff? I mean, this doesn't have enough data to even look. Yeah, it's Brownhill oh my God, Magnificent Seven cover call. I see. So this follows the FANG stocks, so to speak. FANGs, the Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, the Magnificent Seven. What else? Spy T, Spy T. Yeah, okay. So this is the same thing, same chart looking for, at QQQT. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay. Baggy. Baggy. What is baggy? Amplify Bitcoin Max income covered call. Okay, so this follows Bitcoin. So, which is the covered calls. Um, you buy the stock and sell the option. It's a covered call. Um, yeah, I mean this. uh, So you can look. This is not enough data, of course, but you can look at the same thing. You can look at the Bitcoin chart. It looks the same, so to speak. There's more data here and more. There's no gaps, but yeah, it's the same thing. You can look at that and that. It kind of there's just gaps. Yeah. Well, of course, they want your money. But anyways, I gotta run. I gotta go get something to eat. And so see, we just kind of now dropped, pulled back, and now we're just going sideways. Good thing I got out. But let's call it here because I'm starving. Yeah, I try to do these weekly on Sundays. I used to do like a weekly market analysis and post a video on Sundays. Um, Editing and all that stuff took like, I don't know, 2, 3 hours. That's just, um, but now I can just do this. I can do this quickly before market opens on Sunday. So I might start 30 minutes maybe next week before the market opens. I'm on West Coast, um, so the market opens at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 p.m. on East Coast, New York time. So maybe I'll start 30 minutes before and just go over um, what I did in my weekly analysis videos. Because usually those videos, if you just go back to um, the playlist, I think that they're called weekly review. Yeah, and you can just rewatch them to see what I'm talking about. Um, but that's what I'll probably maybe start doing. Yeah, yeah, it's better because you can ask me questions. We can interact live as versus, you posting a comment and me getting back to you hours or days, next day or days later. Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, the thing is all my videos they're not highly edited, it's just I try to have very, very, very little editing done. Just, because people manipulate shit. So I just try to be as transparent and open as possible. There's no need to hide anything. There's too many fake people out there, on YouTube world, you know. But yeah, this is yeah, live is better. I agree because you can ask me, we can talk about, you know, right there and then. But anyways, um, gotta get some food. Gotta put something down in my stomach. Um, Thanks for being here. Those of you who are here, see you next week or in my next live or a short or long format video. Don't forget to subscribe, like everybody says, you know, the spiel. Subscribe, hit the like button, and the bell notification icon. The bell notification icon. All right, guys, take care and see you later. I think we're going down from now on. That's just my opinion, not a financial advice. Take care.